Hello, everybody. I love you.
There we go. Good
Morning,
morning.
Detective.
Can you hear me okay?
I can. Can you hear me?
I can. I'm doing this from my cell phone down in the cell block. Things are a little bit wild right now. So
I understand. I heard. So we'll get this wrapped up and get you out of here.
thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Now calling prosecutor order number 24-23292, the people versus Anton Lee Davis. This is the date and time set for a swear to. Detective, can I have you raise your right hand? You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right. You're under oath. Please state your full name for the record, and you may proceed when you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Detective Rougeau for the Royal Oak Police Department. On October 10th, 2024, at approximately 7 p.m., officers Gertler and Hull, both in full police uniform and in a fully marked patrol vehicle, responded to the McDonald's at 423 West 11 Mile, here within the city of Royal Oak, Michigan, County of Oakland. There was a report of an argument between two parties. On arrival, they observed a silver Chevrolet Equinox, which matched the description of one of the involved parties. Officers approached the vehicle on foot and directed the driver, Anton Lee Davis, date of birth 10/25/2003, to stop and speak with him. Davis looked at the officers before driving away from them in west on 11 Mile, where the speed limit is posted at 35 miles an hour. Observing equipment violations on the vehicle as it drove away, officers attempted to stop the vehicle by activating their emergency lights and sirens. Davis ignored these signals to stop, increased his vehicle speed, and dodged in and out of traffic in an attempt to elude officers. Davis's vehicle reached speeds of about 70 miles an hour upon Woodward before officers terminated the pursuit. Davis was arrested the following morning by Michigan State Police. During a post-Miranda interview, Davis admitted to knowing the officers were trying to stop him and that he intentionally ran from them. He stated that he did this both because he was afraid because they had approached him with their hands on their guns, and that he had been smoking marijuana and didn't want to be, quote, thrown on his face, unquote, because he was doing it while driving. All the details of this case are recorded under Royal Oak Police Report number 2400371101. And you have before you a one-count complaint and warrant authorized by the Oakland County Prosecutor's Office charging Mr. Davis with fleeing in the third degree.
All right. The court finds that probable cause has been established related to the submitted charge. I am signing the complaint and authorizing the warrant. Is there anything else you'd like to note regarding bond?
As of right now, Mr. Davis is on probation out of Plymouth, I believe, for a domestic violence conviction. I believe he has roughly 14 more days left on that probation before he's up on that. Aside from that point, I'll bring up his 3-year-old daughter was reportedly in the vehicle during this incident. I think that should be a consideration for bond. The amount and conditions, however, Your Honor, I will put in the hands of the court.
All right. Thank you, Detective.
Thank you.
Counsel, you're all set?
We're all set, thank you.
Okay. Now calling prosecutor order number 24-23292, the people versus Anton Lee Davis. This is the date and time set for an arraignment. Counsel, your appearance.
Morning. For the record, Patrick Yankton, I appear on behalf of Mr. Davis. Mr. Davis, if you could state your name, please.
My name is Anton Davis.
Thank you for that. No objection to proceeding by video this morning. I did speak in private to Mr. Davis just now. He did acknowledge a single felony count. As far as proceeding, I'd ask the court to waive any further reading. He would request a not guilty plea. He's going to make a request for appointed counsel for any future court dates, please.
All right. Thank you, counsel. The court will waive formal reading and answer a plea of not guilty on behalf of Mr. Davis. Mr. Davis, I did receive the request for court-appointed attorney form that you filled out and submitted. Based on your representations, I do find that you qualify for court-appointed counsel, so I will appoint an attorney for you moving forward, okay?
Okay.
All right. Counsel, as relates to bond, what would you like to state on behalf of Mr. Davis?
My understanding, my client's 20 years old. Admittedly, that he is on probation for, I believe it's a misdemeanor domestic violence out of Plymouth. That he currently is set to start employment on Monday's date. I'd ask you to consider a personal bond. If the circumstances do not warrant that, I would just ask for the low end of a cash bond, please.
All right, thank you, counsel. I'll note I did just conduct a swear to in this matter. I do see the matter that Mr. Davis is currently on probation for, even though it does look like it's only for a few more days. This obviously is a felony, and the charge in and of itself basically creates the possibility of Mr. Davis being a flight risk because it's fleeing and eluding. I don't think that a personal bond is warranted, and quite frankly, because he's currently on probation, I really don't think it's warranted. I'm going to order bond in the amount of $12,000 cash or surety. I will allow a 10% provision. I'm also ordering the following conditions. You will personally appear for any and all future court proceedings. You will not leave the state of Michigan without permission of the court. You will immediately notify the court in writing of any change to your address or telephone number. You shall not possess any firearms or other dangerous weapons. You shall refrain from using any alcohol, any form of THC, marijuana, illegal drugs, or abusing any legally prescribed medication. You will submit to random testing, which will include 1 ETG per week and 1 controlled substance urinalysis test per month. I'm also placing you under pretrial services supervision, which means if you post bond, you must contact pretrial services within 24 hours of your release. Lastly, no new criminal offenses or activity. Mr. Davis, do you understand the terms and conditions of your bond?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions?
Yes, sir.
All right, your next court date is currently scheduled for October 21st at 9 a.m. That'll be at the 44th District Court.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck to you, Mr. Davis. Thank you, Detective.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Morning, Detective.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. Doing well, thank you. Looks like I've got 2, Vickory and Garcia. Is that right?
Yes,
All right. Do you have a preference on which one we call first?
I do not mind.
All right. Let's do Vickory first.
All right, sounds good.
Now calling prosecutor order number 24-23308, the people versus Eric Lee Vickory. This is the date and time set for a swear to. Detective, can I raise your right hand? You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I swear, sir.
All right, you're under oath. Please state your full name for the record, and you may proceed when you're ready.
My full name is Kyle Holscher, and on 10/12/2024 at 3:51 a.m., Officer Pollock and Officer Decker with the Waterford Township Police Department responded to, which is in the township of Waterford, for a burglary alarm. Upon arrival, officers located a hole in the cinder block wall at the back of the business. They observed broken pieces of the cinder block from the wall on the outside of the hole. They looked through said hole and observed a male standing on something inside and tampering with the door on the inside of the building. While they were standing out there, the suspect threw a metal object outside of the hole, and then he began to exit. As he exited, he was taken into custody. Officers identified the male as Eric Vickory. They Mirandized him, and Eric agreed to speak with them. He claimed the hole was already there and he was just looking for a place to stay. Officers located 3 tools near the hole, which were a rubber mallet, a tire iron, and a hooked metal rod. Officers spoke with the owner of the business, who advised that the hole was not there prior to the incident. The Oakland County Prosecutor's Office issued a 1-count felony warrant for breaking and entering, and Eric Vickory does have several prior convictions for breaking and entering.
The court finds a probable cause has been established related to the submitted charge. I am signing the complaint and authorizing the warrant. Is there anything else that you'd like to note regarding bond? Other than the priors?
No, thank you, sir.
Sure. Good afternoon, sir. What is your name?
Eric Vickory.
Now calling prosecutor order number 24-23308, the people versus Eric Lee Vickory. This is the date and time set for arraignment. Counsel, your appearance.
Good afternoon. For the record, Patrick Gagnick, I appear on behalf of Eric Vickory. Mr. Vickory, if you could just state your name again, please.
Eric Lee Vickory.
Thank you for that. No objection to us proceeding by video. I did speak to Mr. Vickory this morning. It's before the court, that being the 1 single felony count. Mr. Vickory did acknowledge he does understand the charge as well as the maximum punishment. Asked the court to waive any further reading. Mr. Vickory is requesting that a not guilty plea be entered on his behalf. He is making a request for appointed counsel, and I'd ask the court to grant the same.
All right, thank you, counsel. The court will waive formal reading and enter plea of not guilty on behalf of Mr. Vickory. Mr. Vickory, I did receive the request for court-appointed attorney form that you filled out and submitted, but there's a couple parts of it that are blank, so I have a few questions. Are you currently employed?
Yes, sir.
All right, are you paid each week or bi-weekly, each month?
Usually I get paid every couple of days. I make $13 an hour. I work for.
All right, so,
I fix
okay,
train.
so approximately how much would you say you make per month? Just an estimate.
Probably about 1,500.
All right, do you have any fixed expenses?
No, I
Like rent,
don't.
mortgage, car payment?
No.
All right. All right, well, then based on your representations, it does appear that you qualify for court-appointed counsel, so I will appoint an attorney for you moving forward, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, counsel's relates to bond, what would you like to state on behalf of Mr. Vickory?
Without the benefit of his criminal history, based on his statements to me, I don't believe that he has any other pending matters out there. I don't think he's on probation or parole. He is employed. He does random handyman jobs, but he's been doing that now for a decent amount of time. He does have a local address in Pontiac. Does reside with, I believe, his girlfriend. If you would consider make a request for a personal bond, if you're not inclined to do that, I would ask the court to consider the lower end of a cash bond, something that would otherwise allow him to bond himself out and continue working.
All right, thank you, counsel. I will note I did conduct the swear-to on this matter earlier this morning. And I have reviewed Mr. Vickory's prior criminal history, which includes numerous convictions for breaking and entering into a building dating back all the way to, looks like 1998. 1, 2, 3, at least four or five convictions. As well as a domestic violence conviction from October of 23. Retail fraud. First degree conviction in November of 2023. So based on Mr. Vickory's prior criminal history, I do not believe that a personal bond is warranted. I'm going to order bond in the amount of $10,000 cash or surety. I'm also ordering the following conditions. You are not to return to 3101 West Huron Street in Waterford Township, Michigan. You will personally appear for any and all future court proceedings. You will not leave the state of Michigan without permission of the court. You will immediately notify the court in writing of any change to your address or telephone number. You shall not possess any firearms or other dangerous weapons. I am placing you under pretrial services supervision, which means if you post bond, you must contact pretrial services within 24 hours of your release, and their phone number will be listed on the bond form that you receive later today. Lastly, no new criminal offenses or activity. So, Mr. Vickory, do you understand the terms and conditions of your bond?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, just so you're aware, your next court date is currently scheduled for October 21st at 9 a.m. That will be at the 51st District Court in Waterford.
Yes, sir.
All right, so Mr. Vickory, that is all for today. I wish you the best of luck.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.